proud. You should be. This is a lot of work. It's hard. Life is hard. Entrepreneurship is hard. Business is hard. You showed up. You did the work. It's time to celebrate. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another brand new episode of the What the Nell podcast with yours truly, Nell Tice. Today, you've got me solo, and I am talking about overthinking. We got to stop overthinking about the plan and start building the habit of actually showing up. But before we do that, so I just have a couple of things. The day that this episode is coming out, Tuesday, October 20 something. Let me look at my calendar here. The 21st, we'll actually be on getting ready to hit the road for the Meeting of the Minds Festival down in Gulf Shores, Alabama. We're super, super excited for this festival. It's our first time there. It's a parrot head convention. So basically all of the groups, like this is the biggest parrot head meetup of the year. And if you're unfamiliar with the parrot head, that is a Jimmy Buffett fanatic. So Jimmy Buffett music, the lifestyle, everything that he emulated is all encompassed in a parrot head. And we are going because we love Jimmy Buffett, but we have a radio show on Radio Trop Rock called Livin' Like Kenny, and it's a live show every Wednesday night, and we are loving this community, and we wanted to go and be with the community. Just so happens that we're actually nominated for an award, which the award show will be there while we're there as well. So, crush fingers for us, maybe, sort of. We haven't really talked about what that would look like if we won or didn't win or anything like that. We're just letting, the chips fall where they may. And we'll just celebrate either way. Getting nominated is so fun. I know that's so cliche, but it's super honored to be nominated. But anyway, more about that, hopefully in a later episode. Maybe we'll talk about that experience, but we're really looking forward to it and connecting with the community. And also coming up November 10th, it is a Monday at noon Eastern. I am doing the first ever enTICEing Media open office hours called Media Mondays. And for 1 whole hour, I'm inviting people to hop on a Zoom with me. They can ask any questions they want about media production, podcast, video, social media, anything. I realize, I've got some experience now in doing all of this with the podcasts and the radio shows and YouTube and all the things. And, there are people out there that have questions and maybe just need some questions answered or need help with something. So that is what that's all about. You do have to register for it. So link is coming out. Actually, it should be out. Should have been released yesterday. So take a look out for that. If you do not subscribe to the enTICEing Media newsletter, please do. You'll find the link there, but also the link will be coming out on social media as well this week. So stay looking out for that and register. I would love to see you there. Any question, it could be as simple as, I don't know what distance to have the mic away from me in frame in a podcast recording. Help me. Anything. We'll talk about it all. So join me. That'll be super awesome. So I can't wait. And it'll be reoccurring every 6 weeks. So if you can't make the first one, that's totally fine. Put it on your calendar and get reminded for the next one. So now that we've got some housekeeping items out of the way, on to today's topic, overthinking the plan. I've got a few bullet points that I want to hit, although I'm not going to keep you super long in this episode, but it is really important to stop overthinking and just do it. Just show up. I mean, hello, Nike made an whole mission based on just do it, right? That's all we're looking to do. Start messy, just do it. So number one, the thing to think about is the paralysis of planning. Planning can actually put you in paralysis. So, there's always just one more thing you have to do. Let me just organize this. Let me just schedule that. Let me just record this. Let me just. That's what I should really title this episode. But anyway, I'm not going to. But if you prepare for too long and you don't actually show up to do the thing, you'll never actually start. So that can definitely prolong the process. It is really overthinking, and is procrastination in disguise. So let's get rid of that. Stop preparing. Just do the thing. Tweak it as you go. That's what most successful people do, honestly. Secondly, let's talk about perfection versus presence. So, being consistent is about presence. And that's ultimately what wins. That's what helps you be successful, is that consistency piece. There is no such thing as perfection. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen big brands or influencers, accounts, things like that, have posted things or put things out there where I'm like, oh, I caught a mistake, whether it's spelling or placement or something. There's always going to be some type of mistake. I mean, my gosh, look at Cracker Barrel, for instance. They had an entire plan for marketing, redoing everything, the logo and the insides of their establishments, everything. There's so much kickback on it that they just were like, yep, nope. We're just going to keep it the way it was. But you know what? Kudos to them for trying, because they're just trying to freshen up the look. And I get it. It started to turn political and all the things. I don't want to talk about that. But what I do want to talk about is making moves. And you can't do that unless you're present. So just put yourself out there. It's time to go. Like, if you really believe in what you're doing, you gotta get going and stop worrying about that perfection and how it's going to look and what your old friend who didn't believe in you is going to think when they see it. Just stop. None of that matters. You have to continuously keep going. Don't look left. Don't look right. Look right in front of you. Third, I want to talk about becoming someone who shows up. So if you have some sort of reputation, or if you know that you are not a person that typically holds commitments or says or does what they say they're going to do, it's time to become a different person. It's time to become someone that is showing up and believes in what they're doing. And when you do believe, that will help you show up. But you need to constantly be asking yourself, what, instead of how can I show up, what can I do to show up today? So reframing the question is helpful. So you have to become the person that you believe you can be or are, and showing up and being consistent and constantly just making that routine and that habit is a great way to do that. You got to get in the habit of showing up. There is no excuse not to, honestly. So let's also talk about public proof versus private process. Or not versus, I guess. Yeah, it kind of is versus. You know, I'm a big fan of working in silence. I don't always maybe even put enough out there of what's happening behind the scenes with everything that we're doing, our business, radio shows, YouTube, podcasting, all the things. I love to work in silence, and there's nothing wrong with that. And you can too. You can show all the behind the scenes. Honestly, it's probably a better idea too, because it's relatable. It helps you connect with people. But, you know, there are definitely times when not everything has to be published. And, you know, I will be totally honest. Very embarrassing. I just recorded an entire podcast episode right before I recorded this one on a topic that I just did. I completely forgot. And I scrapped the whole thing because I realized, I was like, you know what? No, I just did this episode. And wow, that's terrible. I couldn't even remember that. But you know what? We're all human. We screw up. We mess up. I did that. I'm here now. I'm showing up again. And here we are. So this is what you're hearing. The other episode, no, because I already did that. You already heard it. But or at least it was the same topic, and I couldn't do that again, at least not so close together. But, you know, I could choose to put that out there. I just did, or I could choose not to. I could have held that close to the vest, which is totally fine. Either one. But don't let any of it stop you from showing up. Let's see. I have a whole list here of things. So as I'm reading, you know what? This is the most important one, honestly. We focus so much on results and the outcomes and analytics and the numbers, right? Whatever happened to celebrating showing up and putting things out there, celebrating the fact that you did it? I mean, most podcast episodes and podcasters don't get past episode 7, okay? If you've hit episode 8, I want you to congratulate yourself. Stop comparing yourself to somebody else that has done 200 episodes. You know, they started somewhere too. Instead of thinking, oh man, I'm only on episode 8, how about thinking, yeah, I made it to episode 8. I am above average in the podcast realm. That is how you should be thinking about your progress instead of, you know, all right, I got to do everything. I got to work towards 100. I can't celebrate. I can't do any of this until I get to this goal. And celebrate the little things along the way. That's a freaking win, you guys. You've got to start celebrating that. And that you can do publicly, or you don't have to. You can do that privately. There's nothing wrong with sitting here and being like, you know what? I posted that episode. I feel pretty good about that. Be proud. You should be. This is a lot of work. It's hard. Life is hard. Entrepreneurship is hard. Business is hard. You showed up. You did the work. It's time to celebrate. So I think I'm going to cut that off here today. This is a very short, rapid fire episode, but all very important things and just simple little reminders that, you know, if we stay consistent and we forget about failing and embrace failing even, we can really accomplish great things. So I just wanted to remind you of that. If you're thinking about doing something, start. If you did start and you're having trouble keeping up, keep going. You can do it. You will do it. And you're never gonna regret showing up. Never. So that's the name of the game. Consistency always wins. So on that note, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel here at the What the Nell podcast. Like the video. If you're watching, share it with a friend. If you're on an audio platform, we thank you so much for listening. And please leave us a review. That's how we grow here at the What the Nell podcast. Stay tuned for awesome, more exciting episodes coming up. I've got some great guests and episodes, and join the newsletter. I never mentioned that enough. The What the Nell newsletter. You get updates every week with new episode information, direct links, and upcoming events, information, things like that. Join the enTICEing Media newsletter. Every month you get a whole newsletter with tips and what's new, what's trending, and things you need to know if you are doing any type of content creation or media production in your business. So do all of those things and keep it tuned in here to What the Nell. Catch up on some episodes if you found this too short. And stay tuned for next week. We've got another awesome Ecopreneur's Edge episode for you. Until then, as always, I will catch you on the next one.